McGee Wolf with the Wolf Group, back again with another important video for you or one of your clients that's in the process of purchasing a home or getting a mortgage for any reason. Our goal is to deliver great content so you can have a really smooth mortgage experience. This video is definitely for you if you're looking to purchase a home or get a mortgage of any kind. The subject of this video is assets and how to introduce them to the mortgage process. This is very important, so let's get started. The first thing I'd like for you to do is down below, click on that red subscribe button. And while you're at it, there's a little bell that'll appear. Please click on that so you'll be notified of the new videos that are coming out in our library. You'll definitely want to see them as they roll out. Also, we welcome your comments down below. Or you can ask a question. Or if you need to reach out to me personally, we have contact information down below that will help you get in touch with us. And finally, we also have some documents down below that are complimentary that you might find very helpful. The one called the mortgage process is really the most impactful one down there if you're in the process of getting a mortgage. It can really help you. One of the first things I want to do is to dispel with the myth that many people still believe today that you are required to put down 20% of the sales price in a down payment. That used to be the case many years ago, but that is no longer the case. In fact, there are a few loan programs that will allow you to finance 100% of the sales price, on occasion even roll in all of the closing costs. So you come to the closing table with no money. So I want to make sure everybody's clear on that up front. The first type of asset I'd like to discuss is cold, hard cash that everybody loves. You may have some in your safe or in a shoebox, sock drawer, who knows. But under no circumstances is cash allowed to be introduced into a real estate transaction that has a mortgage associated with it. If you do want to use cash, you're going to have to get it into your bank account at least 60 days prior to you making application for a mortgage. Cash works in every other area of life I can think of, but it won't work in a mortgage. So if you're planning on using cash in some way, or that was your plan, we need to talk. Now right here is a list of typical sources of assets that people use when they're purchasing a home. I'm not going to review all of them with you today because some of them are obvious, like proceeds from the sale of a home, a tax refund, etc. But let's start with the most common one everyone has, which is a checking and savings account. Now the funds in a checking and savings account need to come primarily from payroll deposits. You can't have cash deposits, as I mentioned before. Anything over a couple of $100s in there will create a red flag for the underwriter, and they're going to want to have an explanation of where that money came from. So please eliminate cash deposits in your bank accounts. Also, if you have bank accounts with different banks and you regularly transfer money from one bank account to another, that can become a paper trail nightmare. Please try to stop transferring funds from one account to another until after your closing. Now, if you're going to use a 401k, that's a great source of funds, but you need to do it in the right way. You should start that process right away because it can take 3 weeks or more to get that money actually in your account to where you can use it to bring it to the closing table. You will also be asked for something called a terms of withdrawal, which we're going to have to present to the underwriter to demonstrate that it's coming from the 401k in an acceptable manner. Now, the best way to move the money from your 401k is from an electronic transfer from that company into your checking or savings account. There are other ways, but let's discuss those, like snail mail or overnight, but really the best way is electronic funds transfer. Now, gift funds are a great way to introduce money into the transaction that you may not have in one of your own bank accounts. But we have to be extremely careful on how we move that money and how we document the source of that money. In fact, this is a subject that I'm going to do a video on all by itself because it can become a real problem if it's not done correctly. And I don't want to cover all of it here today. But if you have a blood relative, an employer, or someone with a clearly defined interest in you that we can document, those entities or people can give you funds to close. It's called a gift. They're going to have to sign a gift letter that indicates it is a gift and they don't expect to be repaid. Now, the guidelines associated with these gifts are different depending on the type of loan you're going to get, whether it's conventional, FHA, VA, USDA. So that's what I'm going to discuss in the other video as well, that's dedicated to gift funds. Now, you can also sell some of your personal property, like an automobile or vehicle of any kind, jewelry, anything, a shotgun, anything of value, but you're gonna have to have it independently verified as to what that value is. Like for a vehicle, you can go to Kelley Blue Book, and if you sell a vehicle for $10,000, well, if Kelley Blue Book says it's only worth $3,000, you're not going to be able to use the full $10,000. Same thing for a jewelry, you have to have an appraisal of some sort. I think you understand what I'm getting at. You're going to have to independently verify the value of the item that you sold. And we're going to have to paper trail that as well. And you cannot be paid in cash. Cash is not your friend. I hope these tips that we went over regarding your assets were helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe and ring that bell below. And if there's anything that you can think of that we can help you with, do not hesitate to comment, reach out to us personally. We'd be happy to help you. Everybody here at the Wolf Group looks forward to working with you. Anything we can do to help you, please let us know. And always remember, it's not over till they hand you the keys.